Absolutely. Peter Allen Fields, one of the writers of our show, passed away this last week. I found out because I saw Ira retweet it or tweet his condolences and his sadness in his passing. I had no idea that that he was sick, if he was sick, because I don't know how or why he passed away. I wasn't close to Peter. I don't know if I didn't have a personal relationship with him, neither, for no reason other than sometimes people, work-wise, we just don't cross paths in that sense. But you were going to mention some things that he did, Ryan, some episodes, some key episodes.
Let's go over a few things about this young man, maybe not that young, Peter Allen Fields. It always gives us a chance to kind of look over somebody's life and body of work and career when they pass, and to really appreciate and celebrate them and really fully pick up the scope of what they did. This gentleman wasn't just a Star Trek writer. He started writing in the 60s for a show called The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which I've heard of. Oh, well-known show, yeah.
They just did a movie of that either last year or the year before.
Yeah, yep.
He also, very notably, mind you, wrote for a show called The $6 Million Man that we've all heard of.
I used to watch that as a kid. Really? I had one of the dolls, the Bionic Man dolls that you could look through his head to look through his bionic eye. It seemed to obscure my vision, not make it better. So I felt a little scammed by that doll, just for the record.
What about you,
I liked my Evel Knievel one better.
Sirach, did you ever say, we can rebuild him?
No, I never said that.
Did you ever watch The $6 Million Man?
No, that was a little bit. That was a little bit before me. I mean, I've seen clips of it and things like that, but it was before my time.
That's good enough.
Come on,
I don't know if I'd ever seen it either, but I'm definitely aware of it.
I was a big fan of as a little kid, and of course, I had a big crush on Lindsay Wagner, who was the
Bionic Woman.
The Bionic Woman. She had the strong legs, so she could run. And I think every kid had a crush on her. And I love that show. And actually,
there was a sound effect that I remember, though, that was correlated with that.
Yes.
That when they started to get into the mode of doing something, extraordinary, it was the echoing sound thing.
Yeah, and after Paper Moon, if you listen closely, whenever I come on screen, you hear that sound. Just faintly. Yeah, it's very.
I always heard that sound when you walked onto the set, Aaron. Yeah. I thought it could have been the guy behind you playing an instrument, but it was interesting that you brought that.
Well, I had to pay him to show up and make that sound.
And make that sound. Yeah.
It was expensive.
So here's another thing that this young man did, Mr. Peter Allen Fields. He wrote one episode of Knight Rider.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys know Knight Rider.
I did watch Knight Rider.
Pretty rad.
Yeah.
Michael Knight.
What key episodes of DS9 other than the one we're talking about today, which is Dax? He co-wrote.
We're getting to that.
I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm rushing you.
I know. I'm not rushing. Jake and the Fat Man. That's another show I've heard of. You guys probably heard of all these shows. But I'm skipping over.
Wait. We got to do Jake and the Orange Man. That would be our next show.
Oh my God, you guys are Jake and the Orange Man.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm on today. I'm ready today. Go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
He's ready.
All right. Then you're going to love this part. He also wrote 3 episodes for a little show called Star Trek: The Next Generation. One of which, actually the first one that he wrote of the 3 was The Inner Light. Now, The Inner Light is, many people consider this to be the best Next Generation episode ever written.
Really?
Whoa.
Yes. And some people say it's the best Star Trek episode ever written. It's always in that discussion, and it wins very often. Whenever there's a discussion of the best episode or the best Next Generation episode, the inner light tends to win.
What if we watched that like did a little detour and watched that show? Could we do that, or do we have to have seen everything before?
No, that's what's great about this one, and Next Generation in general was very episodic, you know. But the inner light is its own story. So this is a good episode for if you're trying to start out a new fan, you know, and they're like, I'll check out Star Trek, but I want to just watch a standalone episode that I don't need to know much. I tend to start people on Cause and Effect, which is a Next Generation episode that's very simple and easy to understand, but it's really interesting. But the Inner Light's a very good one for that too. You guys would love it.
We should do that. We should do a little offshoot and do an episode of like TNG. And maybe even Voyager. Maybe there's one for Voyager we could do.
Oh, come on now. This is ridiculous. Voyager 2?
Well, we could do Initiations.
Fired. He also wrote A Cost of Living and Half a Life for the Next Generation. Now moving on, he also wrote a couple episodes of Xena Warrior Princess.
Wow.
Yeah, this guy's all over fandom for us. Now, lastly, his last writing credits were 10 episodes on your show, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, starting with this one, Dax. Now, he has multiple story by and teleplay by, and for those of you that don't know the difference, story by is when somebody first comes up with the story, whether they're somebody that just shows up for the open door policy and pitches them an idea and says, here's a story. And teleplay is the person that actually writes the script out. So if you have a story by episode, that means it's your story. If you have a teleplay by, that means you wrote the shooting script. Now, sometimes you'll see something that says written by. Written by means that they did the story and wrote the episode. So there's the difference there.
Oh, okay.
So he has a multitude of all those things, different levels. You know, some he pitched, some he did the script, some he did both. But anyway, he did story by and teleplay by. Probably the reason they do both instead of written by is because he co-wrote the teleplay. He came up with the story himself, but he co-wrote the script with someone else. So he doesn't get sole written by credit there. He also wrote Progress in the first season.
Hey, Stem Bolts.
Oh, is that one?
Stem Bolts. He is responsible for I know who can tell us what's self-centered.
No way.
Unbelievable.
Are you serious?
This guy's the man.
Peter. Changed my life, Peter. You changed my life.
He did. He named our group.
The self-sealing stem bolts.
The No-J Consortium.
Yep, that's right.
Consortium. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
He also wrote a Duet.
Ooh, that's one of the big famous Star Trek DS9 episodes, right?
I don't remember that one.
Oh, I thought a lot of people really like Duet. I've seen that often in like posts and what have you.
I guess I remember. I don't remember which episode that is. I'm sure if I saw it, I would remember it.
Hold on, Melissa's yelling at me.
I don't know what the title.
Melissa yelled, "It's a very good episode."
Ooh, then we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
He also wrote The Circle and Necessary Evil.
Ah, that's is that a Ferengi episode? Can't remember.
Oh, we could check.
I remember all these titles though. That's funny.
Yeah.
Me too. I recognize the titles.
I remember not working on those episodes, so yeah.
Necessary Evil, because it's Odo relives some terrible and tragic memories of a past investigation when he and the constable on Cardassian-occupied Deep Space Nine, then named Terok Nor, when he was the constable. This is a good one. I do remember this one. This is a really interesting one because what it is they go back in time, you know, kind of like in flashbacks, or if I remember correctly, but what he's talking about is they're talking about the things that happened before Terok Nor became Deep Space Nine. So we're kind of seeing like some backstory on the station and what the station was like and the major players back then with Gul Dukat and Odo working for them and stuff. It's a really interesting one.
It's interesting that I didn't know Peter Allen Fields. That I never really met him. It's too bad, you know. He wasn't a staff writer, right? He wasn't on our lot all the time. Right? It's not like, meaning I always had this impression that there were a group of writers, and I felt that I kind of did know them to some degree, like Robert, like Ron Moore, like Hans, like Renee and Ira, and as well as the two that came up later, Bradley and they're a pair, and they worked together later in our
Braga, Brandon Braga.
No. Bradley and no, it's not Brandon. Because he did he even work on our show? Did he just come in for Voyager? I don't.
Not sure. I thought he maybe did something.
There's also Michael Pillar, DC Fontana, maybe.
No, somebody. Renee Echeverria.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, Bradley Thompson. That's it. Bradley Thompson and David Weddle. You know, they came in later. But I remember meeting them on the set. I remember meeting them. Everyone that I've mentioned, I remember meeting and seeing. Maybe more often than I should have, but maybe because they were making sure I wasn't screwing up. So maybe that's why I saw them so often. They always had to come down just to overwatch and babysit.
Yeah, that was the note that they got from Ira.
That's the note all the actors got. Hey, don't be shocked when you see these writers come down. We know Aaron's working today. We're bringing him down just to make sure he's doing okay. And BC would say, but he's only in one scene. It's one scene, and we need to make sure it's okay because he's a handful, that guy.
It's more than 2 lines.
Let's. There's still a few more I want to look at for this. This is great. I love that you guys remember most of these because a lot of times I don't identify the episode title with which episode it is, but it's really cool that you guys remember these. Another one was Blood Oath.
I don't, but I'm guessing.
That's a Klingon episode.
That's what I'm guessing too.
It's not about Bashir. It's not about Bashir.
The log line is 3 legendary Klingons come to Deep Space Nine to see if Jadzia will participate in a blood oath that they made.
That's the episode that Avery and Colum had to dress up in a Klingon outfit.
No, that's not that.
I don't think so. That's later.
That's like Dominion War stuff.
What did what was that? Me hands.
Very good accent.
I was practicing that this morning, and I was waiting for a moment to throw it in.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
I love you, man. I'm there for you.
Oh boy. He also wrote Crossover, and the log line for this one is Kira and Bashir find themselves in an alternate universe.
What's the difference between alternate and mirror?
Well, the mirror universe is an alternate universe.
Aha! So we basically went to the mirror universe more than once.
Oh, yeah.
So I might still be alive in the alternate universe, even though I died in the mirror universe.
That's right.
All right. I just wanted to be clear about that.
You're still alive somewhere, Aaron. Don't worry. You'll always be alive somewhere in one of these universes.
Thank you.
And then